Hey, my beautiful nail friends, welcome to my channel. So I hope you all had a wonderful Easter weekend. So today we're going to do some character nails. So for the base color, just to have a background, I have new color, let's see, 912. Because today's character nails are going to be this plate. Remember this? Yeah, so this is Bambi. And I do have a lot of different character plates that I want to do with you. So I'm just trying to kind of fit them into all the other just regular manis. So I was like, let's get on this. It's springtime, so I felt like this would be a perfect time to do Bambi. So let me just kind of talk you through what I do. And first of all, this is plate Muteen 083. So when I get my plan of what theme I'm going with, then I'll study the plate. Yeah, literally, like study the plate to decide for sure what images do I want to use. So I know I want Bambi, Thumper, Flower, and Bambi also had his little lady friend. So that sort of a thing. So then I'll decide, okay, what kind of a background do I want? Because I don't want to just do the characters. Like I want them to have a whole theme. So I think of Bambi, I think of like the woods and that sort of a thing. So I want each character to kind of basically have their own scene. So for Bambi, I want to do this image here. This is Miniology M352. I want his background to have the trees. I want the bottom portion to be ground. However, I'm going to take off a little bit right through here because we're going to do something else with that. Also, I'll go ahead and plan out typically what nail is, which character is going on which nail. And sometimes it just depends on what I'm doing as to when I make that decision. But I know Bambi's going on the middle nail. So that way I know where I need to place this. Because what I want to do is I'm going to pick it up in, I'm going to do the mostly the bottom portion because I can always add my own to the top. So I'm going to pick up in Maniology's Cocoa B351 and I'll go ahead and be placing this image. Okay, so I got to remember I want to take off towards this way. Okay, and I'm going to use my lint roller to get that extra piece at the bottom off. Okay, go ahead and place. I'm trying to move up a bit. Okay, so this is a larger nail. Well, I mean, I use the same tips, but this particular set is a different package. So these ones are a bit bigger than the last ones I used, but that's okay. I'm just going to, I'm going to clean this off and just add a portion of the trees to complete it over to that side. So I'll do that and be right back because we got a lot of things to do. Okay, so it'll be like so. And if I can go ahead and place something, I'll try to. It just saves me some more stampers. That way we can have the space to do the reverse stamping stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up the Bambi image I'm going to use. So I know I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to use Maniology's Acorn B498 for the pickup, just so I have that a darker toned outline. Because if I color him in with a brown tone, I want it to still be where we can see the outline. That little dot you're seeing, it's something on the stamper on this side. So let me show you. This is going to be his nail. So if I'm kind of holding it up, I can see where I'm going to generally where I'm going to place him so I can kind of tell what do I need around him. Because I know part of what I'm going to do, but I still have this section that I'm going to need to fill in so it's not just like this. So I'll show you like on the plate we used how the upper portion, it's like the leaves are like, I guess, I don't know, like flying away or something. I don't want them like that. I want them to be more full. So I'm gonna, of course, make my own. Y'all have seen me do that many times. Um, so I'm not trying to bore you, friends, but I do want the, you know, leaves for the tree. So again, same thing. I'll take my two separate greens. I've just been using Candy Moyo 961, the darker green, and Maybelline Tropic Talks, because I'll kind of mix them. But also, you know, if we have new friends um, that may not have seen this before, so I take my what I call the crazy brush because it's just an old frayed brush, but it's perfect for this. And I just alternate between the two colors and we just tap around. So of course, you're more than welcome to fast forward if you are not interested in seeing this. Totally understand. I know some of my no friends have seen this a lot of times. Again, I like to do it to have like to where it's kind of got some added texture. And the two color tones just kind of make it a bit more realistic. Okay, so what I'm also going to do, since I still have some of the green, I'm also going to add a bit of new color 997. And let's go ahead and start on some of the ground area on the lower portion, since again, since I still have some of that green. So it'll kind of give um, a grassy effect. And we'll be using, you know, both the colors still and applying or adding in the brown to make it more brown-like. Only working right now on towards this side because I have something else for the other side. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of the brown just to add in here and there. We can always add more later if needed. But as of right now, I'm gonna leave it like this. Actually, let me pull up, bring up a little pink right up in here. All right, now, okay, so I know I'm gonna get this image of Thumper. He's so cute. So what I want to do for his um, scenery is I'm gonna go to plate M287 for Mineology, and typically I do make my own grass. I mentioned recently that you can use these, you know, this sort of a thing, and I am gonna go ahead and do that today just so y'all can see what it does. What I do want to do though, I want to use the larger or the, what do you call, like the longer grass look. But this particular piece right here, I am going to take off. So what I want to do, okay, I'm trying not, I don't want to complicate it, but because of the way his image is, he's kind of, the way I see him is a little bit over more that direction. So what I want to do is kind of alternate. Okay, so let me pick up this section here. I'm gonna place it where I want it. I'm gonna use Manyology's Evergreen B315 for the pickup. An alternative would be their color Rind because um, I believe that this was discontinued. So I'm gonna tilt my scraper card more so I don't dig in too much to the solid portion. Take off the very bottom that extra that got on there with my lint roller. Okay, so I want it on this side. I'm coming up a pinch. We can fill in the rest in a minute. So what I mean is if he's going to be more on this side, I didn't want that piece to be like over here. Prefer it to be on that side. So that's why I alternated that. So now I want to go in for this portion and add it, but I am still taking this taller piece off because um, it's gonna end up being where he's at. But why, if you're wondering why am I not using this portion, because this is piece right here is a little bit taller, and that's the look I'm wanting. So let's just see if we can avoid even getting that flower. I gotta make sure I got enough polish in the groove. That way, oh, see, I took some out, but that's okay. I'm gonna work with it. Can always fill that in. Okay, so what I'm just gonna use what I have just to fill in at the bottom. You can always use your brush just to color it in if needed. So like those couple little sections you see, just gonna take off extra from the brush, just paint it on there. And this little extra piece over here, I'm gonna peel off like so. Oh, I see a little tiny piece right here. And I want this little piece darker. But I like the taller grass look. Okay. So while I have this plate out, let's go ahead and get um, flowers scenery started. Oh, I already have it. What is this thing called? The stamper. Okay, so what I want to do for his is let's go to the smoother section, but I like the heel part of it. So let's see. I like this section, so let's do that. And I'm using the same color. Let me scrape this direction. Sometimes that helps from from scooping out too much. Turning it my stamper long ways. I'm gonna come up with it a pinch. And then I'll use the rest to fill in. Oop, the nail's coming off. Again, we can use the brush just to touch up right here. And of course, you could also just use the brush tip from the bottle and just bloop, do your own little swirl. Listen, if you come from for the sound effects, I got you. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up Thumper here. Okay, so for his, okay, wait, let me okay, for the butterfly, I'm going to use Manyology's Canterbury B524, and for Thumper, we'll use Acorn. So I got both the bottles open, ready to go. So let's start with, let me turn it a little bit for the butterfly. I've got to swatch my blues for you guys so that I can set them up right. Because I'm having to right now, like, go through them to find what I was looking for. All right, so let's swipe this direction to help me not mix the colors. Okay, let me take off the extra pieces. Actually, I'm gonna end up redoing it because the butterfly did not get very well. It missed, I feel like it missed a piece of the wing. Okay, so let's try it again. Let me go ahead and do Thumpers first. Okay, then let's try the butterfly. Tap it in there better. And then scrape, pick up. Oh yeah, that's better. But let me get that little thing off of there. Okay. Okay, so for flower, I'm going to use this image here. I was debating back and forth with his image because, let me see, there's different ones on here, but there's like some solids. These only have like his face. Um, I was thinking about doing this one, but I've decided to go with this one because it's got the flowers with him. Um, I don't really love his images because I feel like it's too much is solid, but we're gonna work with it. And I think I'll go ahead and just pick up with Acorn because to give like a little bit of a softer look. But we'll still reverse stamp his flowers and the white for him. Okay. I was looking to make sure we got him all right. Oh, you can't see that. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I also want to do for flowers scenery is go to plate M094 for Miniology, and I want to get the end portion of this. It has the layering part, so I'll start with the bottom. I was trying to decide, do I want to do a white or a light or pink? So let's do a light pink. We'll do Blossom B466 for Miniology. So let me start with, we'll do this portion here first because it is the layering part. And I do need it to come up higher. That way I don't interfere with the rest of his scenery or his image. Okay. Turning it. So I got to remember to turn it the other portion as well. So let's take coconut, not coconut, oh my gosh, cocoa, that brown we used earlier. Okay. And I turned it, having to really look to where I placed it. So now I'm going to go to Maniology plate M131, and I really like this area right here. So let's just use the same evergreen color for the pickup. And like the bottom portion, we can still reverse stamp that. So I know this is going to go on that nail. I'm just going to get whatever I can. Okay. So I'm going to look at it with the nail real quick. So the where I'm going to place it, I'm definitely going to end up adding down lower from it. But for now, I'm going to leave it like so. Okay, and also let's go to plate M574 for Maniology. And I want to get the flower image here, and I debated on the greenery as well, but let's do the flowers. I'll also do those, I think, in Evergreen, and I'll reverse stamp what I can, but I do need to take off a portion of the sides for it to do for what I want it used for. Okay, so got my dotting tool. So some of this needs to come off too, and I will show you how I knew that in a second. So I'm dipping this in acetone and wiping it off just to get it to pick up better. So I was drying it off on the napkin so the acetone didn't get on the actual stamper, but I'm still going to end up needing to take some tape anyway to get these little tiny pieces off. Okay. So basically I was holding it over the image to see what do I need to take off all around, because we can always add more if we need to. So this is dried enough to where I'm going to go ahead and work on this image. There's a little something on here I'm also trying to get off. So for the little rocks on there, hold on. So some of those aren't even going to be showing, but I'm going to go ahead just in case. So for the rocks, I'm going to use Maybelline Serene Steel, just in case it does show. Okay, so for this section, I'm going to take some of the brown and some of the green I used earlier just to fill this in. Again, I'll still have to be doing something towards the bottom, but I need to kind of see how everything is going to look um, with the main image beforehand. So I'm just trying to fill in any gaps at this point. And again, some of this is going to be covered, but I won't know what all until I've got it placed. Okay, so let's let this dry for a minute, but this is how it's looking. Okay, so for Little Thumper, his nose and his inner ear area is a light pink. So I'm going to go to Candy Mayo 934. So I've just touched my brush to the brush of the polish bottle. And it is a very, very tiny piece, but I do want it the correct color. Trying to tap so I don't make it peel up. And then his chest, tail, and nose area are in white. So I'm gonna use Color Vibe White Out. So I really loved Bambi when I was little and watched it, but boy, did it also make me really sad. A lot of the movies made me sad and it stuck with me, but I think too, because I'm super sensitive, that didn't help. Okay, and then his little eye. So on his cheek and tummy and foot area, he has like a tan tone, and this is the picture I'm looking at, so I get the colors correct. So I'm gonna go to Candy Mayo 951. We just got a little bit of the tummy area showing. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And the rest of him is gray, so we're gonna go back to Serene Still. And I am trying to pause as I can between polish changes and everything. That way your watch time's not super long. It'll still be some long because I have different things I'm doing, but a little piece I'm missing. Okay. Oh, I see one right there. I still gotta do that butterfly. So let's do the butterfly in Color Vibe Lilac Love because I was looking even at the butterflies on there. One of them is pink, so let's do that. Oop. So I just wanted the butterflies outlining to be a bit different. So that's why I chose to do it in that dark blue tone. Okay, I'm going to add a little pinch more right here just to get it to be more opaque. That's how I look when I see a butterfly. Okay, I know, Jen got the jokes. Okay, so while that one draws, let's do flower. So he has a very pretty blue on his eyes. So we'll go to Maybelline Turquoise Tease and just attempt to add a little tiny dot. Then his nose, eye, and stomach area are also kind of in that tan tone. And the picture I'm looking at for him is this one. So I'm going to go to the same brown or tan tone I used for Thumper. So do right up in here for his tummy area. His nose area, and then his eye area. And of course, the rest of him is white. So aside from Bambi, what is your favorite characters? Because again, like I said, I have several character plates, and I hope I have things everybody likes. What is this thing? That is okay. So for the flower area, I'm going to add in some of the yellow. So Pure Eyes Showstopper, just for the centers of the flowers. So I'll start that with you and then I'll pause and finish it. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so let's do some purple flowers. We'll do Candy Mayo 939. We could also throw in some pink if we want to. So I'll just kind of go around adding. So we'll add some of that lilac glove color. For the lower portion, we can do Tropic Talks just to add in a bit of that other green tone. And typically I do work on whatever image I have picked up first, but this time they had time to dry, so it really didn't matter. This part I don't need to be super opaque because we do have that green background already. Okay, so let's look at him. Okay, so I want to go ahead and apply this image so I can figure what else I need to do around it. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I need to add some of the Tropic Talks green. Just gonna pull down. What I mean by that is just come down. Also gonna grab the other another color. So I'm still gonna pull in the same color tones. It'll all make sense in a minute. Now I've got the darker green. And the brown. So I just used the same tapping motion that I did for the trees earlier. So I'm applying this first. That way, once I place the image, it'll be covered. So we got to give this a minute to dry. So in the meantime, we're going to apply Thumper. Oh my gosh, y'all, he's so cute. Okay. Okay, and I also want to add flower. Um, Now, because of his image, it kind of covers the heel part of the image, but that's okay. Still got the green on there. So before we move forward, let's go ahead and start on Bambi. So his inner ear is also pink. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. So his white tones to me are kind of more off-white. So I'm going to use Kenny Moyo 938 and I'm going to do this in pieces so I don't confuse myself. So the dots and his tail, let me start with that. Got a little much on there. Okay, so his nose area. And his chest area. Okay, and his eye area. So he has kind of a darker brown let me show you a picture. Like this area. So I'm going to it's got a red tint as well. So I'm going to go to Kenny Moyo 952. Okay, so top of his head, ears, not the front part of his nose, or what am I trying, like this part right here, not right there. And all right, and a little bit on his back. And I feel like for the rest of him, this will be a good tone. So go back to that brown tone. But while the rest of him's drying real quick, these little patches down here, I'm gonna add like some white, like some little white flowers, because that's also in the picture. Okay, so we'll let that part dry while we go back to him. We'll just all the rest of it in this. lighter brown. So of course this part's gonna take me a minute because he's got his little legs. In deep concentration now, y'all. Okay, and I'm gonna do that darker green tone for the rest of bottom portion. Let's look. Aw, Bambi. Okay, so for this portion, I know it's gonna take a minute, so I will not bore you with all of it, but I'm gonna do like some uh, little pink flowers, light pink. I'm gonna leave for the center, I'll do those as well, a different color. But also I'm because of the size of the nail, I know I'm gonna end up having to add to it, but that's okay. I will get it. So I will do this and I will be right back. So that's this part right now, but again, I'll come back to the add extra. But what I want to do for Thumper's image, oh, not knock him over, is go back to the plate. I want to get some of these butterflies here. So we're just going to take that blossom color we used earlier and just add them because these are solid. But I thought that would be pretty with this image. Okay, so I lost my scraper card, but I found it. That was my fault, not being prepared. And I don't need all of them, just some of them. Let's see. Right now, um, we're gonna add Bambi's lady friend. So I've noticed up on the plate, most of the ones that have him have the little dots. So how to get that wiped off real quick. So like here, I can see there's dots. Those have dots, dots. But say like this one doesn't have dots. Okay, so here's them two together. So that one has dots and this one don't. So that's how I'm gathering that which ones are her. This one I'm sure is his father. This one may be his mother, but I'm kind of thinking of using this one because I like it is a female, it appears to me, but I don't see hers that I can reverse stamp anywhere. And I can't this one either, but I like that she's just laying down. So, because I want her on that other image, so, or nail. So let's do that one and let's pick her up in Maniology's Boba B330 because I want a dark, I want a tone that's going to show up, is what I'm trying to say. Now I'm wondering if she's going to be a bit too big, but the other ones that are standing would be too. So I think we'll make it work. So I think I'm gonna double stamp it to make it just show up a little bit better. So I ended up doing so with Manology's Grateful B484. So I'm hoping it shows up enough. I could add a little dot like for an eye. So I think what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of this, color in a little bit more with my brush, and then add an eye. So I'll do that and be right back. Okay, so she's got a little nose and eye area now, and I feel like brushing it on also added some texture. Well, that one piece is wonky. I'm gonna have to fix that real quick. Okay, I think I'm gonna just leave her like that. Um, oh, I know what we could do. Let's add some pink in the ear area. And the other option would have been, I guess, to re or like pick up another Bambi and just remove the um dots. But we're trying to make this work. Put some like on this side, like it's on the other ear. Okay, so I felt like I had a bit much, so I tried to just touch that up. She's gonna stay like that. Okay, so we're getting to where we're wrapping up. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this image, and then again, I need to see if I need what I need to add. If I'm gonna see if I can make this work, but no promises. Okay, so I got it better than what I thought, but I am gonna add in around just to fill it in. So I will do that and be right back. Okay, and I'm happy with that. Also, side note, I know, please don't come for me. When I used the dotting tool earlier, it did end up causing a little tear. That's my bad. I guess I got too rough trying to get it off of there. So just use tape or something so it'll be okay. It still picks up, but yeah. Okay, so who guessed it? This image, it's gonna get some water. So we're gonna go to Candy Moyo 928. And this color does, for whatever reason, dry down um, matte. So we're gonna fix all that. So I'm bringing it up because I want it to be like it's a stream coming through. So I'm tapping at a little bit of a texture. And also what I'm gonna do is take some of that green Candy Moyo and fill in part of the background area so it's not, I don't know, just so it looks like greenery. So I'm looking at it. So when I pause, I'm kind of looking to see what I'm thinking. I think I'll leave a little bit of it just so it's like some light coming through. So this piece I feel like now I come up too much. I don't like it quite as much. So all I'll have to do is take the base color I used and touch that up. So just go back to that and just do a little bit, very little. So let me wipe some off. Make sure I don't get too much. So I'd rather be able to add than to need to take away. So let me do it one more time and I'll get it to where I like it and I'll be right back. Okay, and now y'all knew it was coming. We're gonna add a little bit of our sparkle. So Color Vibe Lunar, any kind of little sparkle like that would work, of course. So I'm just gonna wipe off extra. Just kind of place it around. Doesn't have to be all over. Just to where it looks like the water's glistening. Here and there anyway. Add a little bit more up here. Okay, and I think I'm going to take the green. I'm going to texturize this a little bit better along the water. Okay. So just to kind of make it a little more not a straight line. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so while we let that dry before we apply Bambi, last thing I want to do, I want to take this image here. I'm going to try to do the butterfly with the blossom color. I'm going to try to do the rest of it, and I think I'm going to use Grateful this time. And then when I pick up the image, I'm going to let it dry and paint where it says Bambi. I'm going to color that in with white so it'll show up better before we place it. So let me, I guess, do it this direction so I maybe don't mix the colors. Hope it works out. Okay, that'll be just fine. Just getting off extra piece from the bottom. Oh, did I accidentally I think I took off a piece. That's okay, I can touch that up. Oh, so there's two pieces I missed. I'm gonna touch that up. So that was a redo anyway because I'm an idiot and just realized that there's little spaces on there that are supposed to be there. Okay. So I've got the white on where it says Bambi. I'm gonna set that aside to dry real quick. We're gonna apply actual Bambi. Okay. Okay, friends, last piece to add. Something happened to the back portion, so let me fix that. Okay, so I just picked up that spot only to apply it, but also leaving that little space. Okay, and that's it. We got our Bambi nails. So I kind of just wanted this one to be like, give the theme for it being Bambi. Chose to do the flowers around it instead of the other greenery because I thought that would be a pretty touch. It was a bit wonky. I tried. Okay, then we got Thumper with this little butterfly here and up above. I thought was super cute just to add that. They don't overtake the image since they're in a light tone. And then we have Bambi himself, and we gave him the water image with the trees background. And cute little flower. He's got all of his little flower background to represent him. And then Bambi's little love interest over here, and she's just laying down in her little wooded area. This one I feel like maybe wouldn't have been as wonky if I just used one color to pick up, because you know how sometimes when you go to try to add multiple colors, sometimes it does kind of do that, but I still wanted to add the white to try to make it show up a little bit better, but and I do wish I would have had one of her to reverse stamp, but it's okay. We worked with what we had. And I know this was super long, so I do greatly appreciate you sticking around to watch. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And I will list the Maniology products I did use in the description box. And until the next one, have a blessed day. Bye.